Hi guys, how's it going? So it was day one of our foster to adopt training, and I have to tell you, oh my goodness, guys, it was such an amazing experience. It was just really emotional, just really raw, just really real. I think there were so many like topics covered that were really hard to hear, but that so many people are aware of, but maybe we choose to be a little bit more ignorant towards, just because it's really terrible, to be thinking about all the time. All these children that are bouncing around from home to home that have gone through just so many just horrible, traumatic experiences, and they are in need of a family. And so during our day one of our training, it was really just a wake up call. I think my husband and I went to this training together, and we learned just so many crazy things that are going on with the world right now, and in our own country in particular. So many children that do not have a home, they're bouncing around from foster home to foster home, and they need help, and we just don't have enough foster parents, and that's just the truth of the fact. So, blah, 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 blah. See how I am all tongue twisted? I get really just really passionate about this topic. So it's really the truth of the matter is there are not enough foster homes to go around for the amount of children that are in foster systems right now. There are some like 200,000 kids in our country currently who are in the foster system. There's some 29,000 foster kids who age out of the system, meaning that they turn 18 and they have not yet been adopted or in a forever home. And so my husband and I, if you are just catching up for the first time, welcome. Thank you for coming. Make sure you like this video, subscribe along with our journey. I'm sorry, I've got my water here. It's been a tough day and running around and not drinking enough water. I've had more than enough coffee. But anyway, yeah, so there's so many people that age out of the system, and my husband and I, we've always talked about adopting. It was after we had our first son, Tristan, and before I was pregnant with our second son, Hunter. We talked about adopting, and it was always the plan. It was always something that we wanted to do, something that we made room for in our hearts already a long time ago. And so we had Tristan, Hunter, and then we had our daughter, Candace. And I got my tubes tied. Sorry, TMI. I got my tubes tied. We wanted 4 children, but we knew that we wanted to adopt. And so that was just part of the plan. We got to a point where, we talked about it. And the reason we haven't done it sooner is we wanted to make sure that our children were on board with it, our 3 biological children. We wanted them to understand the changes that would be made in our family. We wanted to decide on it together as a group, as a family unit, and make sure that they knew what we were ready for. And we knew that by choosing to go to adopt through the foster system, that there would be challenges. I think any child, no matter what type of adoption you choose, there's going to be some kind of a trauma cause, whether that's eventually, the child will know that they're adopted, or that they want to connect with their families. And so I think depending on which route you choose, there will be some kind of a challenge. So we decided to do fostering, foster to adopt, and we wanted our 3 biological children to be ready and to be able to talk it through and kind of know what it means. And all 3 of them are really excited. It's something that the whole family is really passionate about. All 3 kids, we've talked about it with them, and they know what a good thing it'll be to adopt a child who has, lived in 14 different foster homes, who no longer has a family, who's free and legally clear to be adopted. And they, they're kids just like our 3 kids. They want a forever family. They want to have that family that will be there, not just until they're 18. They want a forever family. And so that's something that we are training for, that we are trying to get ready for. We have to gather our references. We filled out several questionnaires. We have our social worker that will be coming to the house, doing a home study. So stick around. I'll make sure that I do another video for how our home study went. Right now, I wanted to go over our 3-day training that is required of us. So in order to adopt, we still have to go through the steps as foster parents. So we had to go through the foster parenting training. And day 1 was really just about the children that are out there, the numbers, the trauma that they see every day, the type of trauma that children go through when they're taken away from their families. and placed into the foster system. And then we also talked about, let's see, first day. Sorry, I made this video once before on my iPad and it stopped working. And for whatever reason, I was not able to upload it. So this is actually a few days late for day one training. But day one, yeah, we went over really the statistics of things, the number of children that are out there needing adopted, needing foster parents to look after them. And then we went over some of the safety, you know, how to have positive discipline, positive behavioral reinforcements for the child. You know, what might work for like our children will not work for a child coming from the foster system, because like, let's say if I ever use timeout or, you know, sent my kid to the room to be by themselves and sit on their bed where they could just sit and think and not cause anybody any harm, or work out their aggression in their own way in their bedroom, that type of punishment or grounding or isolation will not work for a foster child, because let's say that, you know, they have already felt abandoned and they are already feeling alone and unwanted and just, you know, pushed aside in the world. And that's not something that we want to cause them. We don't want to cause that fresh trauma to them. And so instead we might say, you know, come sit here with me, come sit next to me on the couch. You know, we don't have to talk. Let's just sit here. We'll both sit here and calm down together instead of isolating them or punishing them. And we also went over how children are not at the same level. So a child who was in a home where they were abandoned or not looked after properly, you know, they may have the emotional age of a 24-month-old, even when they're 8 years old. And so what might work for a typical 8-year-old will not work for someone coming through the foster system. So it was just really eye-opening. It was an experience that my husband and I don't think we'll ever forget. And we really hope that we can adopt, that everything is clear through our social worker appointment and our paperwork comes back clean and clear. You know, it's the first class that he and I have ever taken together. And so it was an experience, something we'll never forget. It's something that's haunting and definitely something that's going to stay with us. And we know we're making a good choice. You know, it's not just because, you know, it'll make us feel good about ourselves, of course, but there are so many children out there. And I just picture, you know, Tristan and Hunter and Candace, my own children, you know, out in the world. And if they didn't have us as parents, like I would want somebody to give them a safe home, a safe environment. And we want to be that for somebody. We want to be somebody's forever home. So that was day one of our training, and stay tuned. I've already posted day 2 of our training, again, because of our little flip-flopping issue with my iPad. Day 3 is coming up, so stay tuned, and I'll tell you how our final day of fostering to adopt training went. All right, guys, ring that bell. Make sure you like this video. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.